Hey there everybody, in this video I want to show you this car here. This is a really nice Volkswagen Tiguan, but it's an RLINE and it's actually an all-space 7-seater as well. Brian's my name. If there's any information you want on this really nice car, 086 843 1945 if you want information about trading in your car or just about the car or the kind of after-sales service we provide or financing. I love the headlights. They're a really nice LED, so the indicators are a big long LED strip, but the lights themselves are a nice LED, and even the daytime running light, which is also a parking light, that's also a big LED as well. They have this really kind of sharp, flat, tough looking snout on the front. So if you look at the kind of grille design, it's really flat and square and symmetrical at the front. I love that. It's kind of old-fashioned in a way, but it looks really nice. Another cool feature, because it's an R-line, if you look down at the bottom sections of the bumpers, so just look at the left, sorry, the right here and the left over here, there's a kind of section down here which is a nice piano black finish, but it makes the bumper look a little bit wider and lower to the ground, and in other words then that makes it much more sporty looking. These are, remember, a big MPV, but they're super sporty looking vehicle as well. Again, like the front of the car, it's got this big tough square symmetrical rear end, and to match those headlights at the front, the tail lights have a nice LED finish, nice little designs in the actual lamp itself, and even things like the tail light then, or sorry, the indicator is also a nice LED also. Anyway, other features on the car, so it has a power tailgate, which is kind of cool. There's two keys obviously for the car, but all we do is hold down the power tailgate. I was holding the wrong button. That opens up automatically, and you then end up with this decent sized boot. Boot's in really nice condition. The car is a low mileage car, but overall I would say that is quite a large boot. So there's people that probably buy these just because they want a bigger boot rather than 7 seats, and they only occasionally need 7 seats. There is a cover that goes across, which is hidden down in there, so it's recessed in there, out of the way. But if you do want to cover the goods in the back, you can just use that cover along through there. The seats are pretty straightforward, so to pull them up, you just pull a lever, or more a strap actually rather than a lever, and the seat sits up. Let the seat back down, you just squeeze that guy there and drop the seat forward. One thing you'll find with any 7-seater, there's a matter of regulation and moving around. So you see the way that didn't drop nice and flat? That's because I have the back seats too far back. So if I brought this seat slightly forward a bit, it leaves more space in terms of the back. I'm going to show you that in a sec. Anyone that's curious about size of the 2 rear seats, well, let's look at it this way, right? If you want to use the boot but also have 7 seats up, that is the size of the boot. So yeah, it's quite small, and every 7-seater that I have seen in this segment has a small boot in the rear. But you know what, as some of them go, that's actually not too bad. But let's just have a look at the size sitting in the back. To get in now the back, there's nothing elegant about any of these 7-seaters. Again, they're kind of functional, so all I do is lift that and then I can push the seat forward. It gives me enough space to access, so that is the type of space that you're looking at. And then in terms of getting in, actually, do you know what, that's actually not bad. We sell the Santa Fe, and I'm going to be dead straight, that's actually a little bit easier. There's a bit more space getting in and out. The seat back here is small, so this is really for young kids. It's in really excellent condition because I wouldn't think it was really ever used, but for young kids. So an adult, it's like I can pull the seat back. Yes, I can do it, right? Do I look comfortable? Absolutely not, but it is doable. But I'm, quite squished up in here. I could go on a journey, but I wouldn't want to. So the 2 back seats are really just for occasional use, and they're only for smaller kids. To get back out, I presume I just push that and then push the seat away. But I have to say that access is really excellent as 7-seaters go. The adjustability of the seat then is going to be controlled from there, if how much you want to recline it and that stuff. And then underneath here, oops, there is a piece of cardboard. Under here, there is a bar. So that means you can move the seat backwards or forwards. So what people would do is they might have some small kids in the back, and then they'll maybe move this side a bit forward or that side over there a bit forward, or both of them. In terms of size in the back of these, there's something I always found really weird about Volkswagens, in a good way. They have this really deep footwell. Like, I don't know what it is. It's one, so most cars you sit in, you slouch, or you're you sit really upright, and so, but it's not a bad thing. Like, it's just the footwell feels really deep, or maybe it's the seat is up high or something like that. It probably is actually, maybe now to think about it. I think the seat's just up high. And what's lovely in this one is you have a big glass roof. There's LED lighting in the rear, probably LED up front as well. They will have kangaroo pockets down underneath for storage, drinks holders in through there. Not sure how they work. Yep, obviously I have no idea how this works. Give me one sec. Wow, that was unnecessarily complicated. There is, well, sorry, was not actually, just I didn't know. So you squeeze this guy here and it brings that up to different levels or whatever you want. And what looks kind of cool on these actually is, I'd say it's the same on the other side. If I bring that up towards me, there is a drinks holder, which pops out there. That is cool. There's ventilation down in through here, so I can actually, that's unusual enough because a lot of cars you don't get a chance to regulate yourself, so you can actually regulate the temperature here. 12 volt here, USB, pretty well equipped. And then in terms of the amount of legroom, if I'm sitting behind myself as a 6-foot adult, that is the amount of space I have. This is a nice car. Something I find weird in these Vulcans, well, it's not that weird, but it's just they have a normal key, right? But okay, that allows you to get in, there's the car, but it's keyless entry, so put your hand in, open the door, and that pops out, wing mirror comes back out. Or similarly, if I want to lock the car, I presume I could just press that little indentation here and it locks the door. And then in terms of starting the car, it has a big start stop button here. So foot on the brake, start it up. This is the blind spot indicator. I might talk about that in a sec. Maybe I'll just talk about it now. Blind spot indicator, you're driving along down the road and say for example, you have something out just outside of your visual field, not quite there. This will warn you to say that something is sitting on your quarter panel back through here. Okay, in the center, drinks holders, storage, sliding armrest, cover for the drinks holders. There is some functionality here. There's a park pilot. I'm not going to go through that on the video because it'll be long and arduous and I haven't done it yet. But that's where it's going to try and line up beside the space and self-park. Personally, I think those things are gimmicky. I think by the time you actually set it up, you probably would have parked the car yourself. But it's definitely something, if someone wants to find out how it works, we will definitely show you how that works if you are buying a car. Or if you want, and I get a bit of time in the video, sorry, I'll do that. Different temperatures on each side of the car. Heated seats up front with different temperatures. The gearbox is this lovely DSG gearbox, so it's automatic most of the time. But if you want, you can have a sport function. Sorry, back over here. So up and down through gears. Or similarly on the steering wheel, I've got paddles, which we'll see when we're driving the car as well. So the car has parking sensors and it's also got this massive reverse camera in here. And actually the dash is digital as well, so it tells me what gear I'm in over there. Lots of stuff actually, I'm going to show you that in a sec. I really like the way these work. It's like what I see in Skodas, Volkswagens, Seat. It's a very, very, I don't know what, I just like the resolution of how quickly the stuff moves. Maybe it suits different people in different ways, but I just find it sort of, I don't know, the tempo that it seems to work at is quite user friendly. The roof, I presume, has a cover, or maybe not, or maybe it does when you find it. So there's two buttons here. They are to let the cover backwards and forwards. I don't think see the point of this, but if you wanted, you could completely cover over the roof and it's like you don't have a glass roof at all. But why would you do that? So I think for most people, you would let that all the way back. It's bloody nice to have. And then a lot of modern cars, they're panoramic roof, like that's pretty much it. You just get a big bright roof. But this one, you can actually tilt the sunroof upwards or all the way out and open, and that creates a lot of light. Really makes the cabin a nice place and shows up every grey hair I have. And then same control to close. That is an electrochromatic mirror, which means it darkens itself, so you don't have like a daytime nighttime, it just darkens itself. Right, over here there is controls for Bluetooth, and there's controls for adaptive cruise control, so you can set, take your foot off the pedal, set your cruise control, but you can also regulate to say follow the car in front. If they slow down, I want to slow down as well. Digital dash, like we were saying, so toggling in through here, tire pressures and various other menus, driving data, radio information, so all that stuff is toggled from in through there. Little orange light to say we have low tire pressure. Probably should have checked that before we went driving. They're not very low, but cars on the forecourt can tend to do that. Wiper controls in through here, lighting controls down through there, which are completely automated, so they come on themselves at night. And this curious little button here is for the heads-up display. So there's a heads-up display there, and that's just to regulate and move the heads-up display around. So I'm just going to try and see, can we get a clearer? Yeah, so you can see in there, it's, yeah, it gives you, as you're driving, obviously you have this lovely big digital dash in through here as well, but this kind of allows you to see the speed, and I suppose it stops you taking your eyes off the road, keeping your eyes forward. Better level of concentration, less chance of an accident. Steering, obviously the seat that I'm in is height adjustable. It has, I presume, lumbar support, which, yeah, it does as lumbar support, and actually I bet the passenger side also gets height adjuster and also gets lumbar support in through there as well. To be fair, they actually drive as good as they look. So it's a 2-litre diesel engine with about 150 horsepower, and then there's a really nice DSG, which is basically a dual clutch transmission, which shifts really fast. So it's quite a nice car to drive, good power in it. I would imagine these are quite an economical car. They've always have been an economical engine. So I'd imagine something like this, it's probably well capable of putting out 50 plus miles per gallon, something like that. I'm unsure of the actual factory name of this colour, but I love greys like these. They're very straightforward. Nobody doesn't like them. They're always classy looking. Anyway, if you are looking for a really nice looking R-Line Volkswagen Tiguan, this is definitely worth considering. If you want a 7-seater all-space, this is a 39,000 kilometre, one owner from new car. And here's the thing about a car like this: even if you want a big car with 7 seats, great, you can do that. But if you don't care about 7 seats, this is just a really nice looking, really well equipped, nice SUV anyway. So I think some people might buy it because it's 7 seats, but you don't need a 7-seater to justify buying a car like this if you just want high spec in a good looking vehicle. I think it's cool. Anyway, we are a family run business in operation for almost 70 years. If there's any information you want in the car, or trading in your car, or scrapping a car, or finance, or whatever it is, 086 843 1945. One thing after copping on there, it actually gives you the current speed sign, or speed zone even, when you're looking at the heads-up display as well. So that gives you the speed, but also tells you the speed zone you're in. Anyway, right, fine. If you want information, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. We will supply the car with service. We will supply the car with 12 months warranty. Anyway, hopefully the vehicle's of interest. Thanks a million for watching.